Ladies and gentlemen, it's a quiet Sunday morning, September 13th, 2020. Dr. Gratu Orloff here. Wanted to show you a few things I just unearthed. You know, there was a time when comic books were everywhere. Every convenience store, many grocery stores, bookstores. There were spinner racks. You'd spin them around and find all the new titles. But then, at a certain point in the late 70s, they changed the way comic books were distributed. And what they did is they started distributing them to comic book stores. Before, when they were distributed to 7-Elevens and bookstores, the comics could be returned. If they didn't sell, they would just rip the front cover or the title on the front cover off and send it back to the publisher, and they'd get a credit, and they wouldn't be charged for that issue that they weren't able to sell. So they were losing money doing that, the publishers were, so they decided, let's sell them directly to these new comic book stores that are opening up. And then if the comics don't sell, the stores won't be allowed to return them. They can keep them, and then in theory, those comics will go up in value, and those collector stores can sell them for more money. So comics became non-returnable. It was called direct distribution. And when they did that, a lot of stores, after a while, a few years pass, and pretty much the only place you could find comic books were in actual comic book stores, which a lot of kids never set foot in. So for many years, it was like comic books disappeared, and a lot of kids thought Spider-Man and characters like that were video game characters or characters from Saturday morning cartoons. They didn't even realize that they had their origins in comic books. A lot of kids today have never seen a comic book. The people that frequent comic book stores are older people. So I think they realized they made a kind of a mistake, and in an effort to get comic books back into stores where actual kids could see them, they started putting out these little digest editions that could be sold right at the checkout stand, right next to Reader's Digest and TV Guide. And so they were small digest-sized comics. It's the back cover. This one collects haunted tank stories, which were great stories about a tank haunted by this gentleman. Boy, I'm holding this phone. This is kind of an experiment, but I can kind of show you. Boy, this lighting. Yeah, the panels were very small, but that's what they looked like. They were digest-sized. And so this way they could get comics into the supermarkets and still where kids could see them. And it sold for 95 cents, basically $1. I got a bunch of these. I was just moving stuff around and realized I have a lot more of these than I thought I did. So I'll show you what they kind of look like. This is in no particular order. So, wonder what you thought of the TV series. We have now 2 seasons of what they call Titans on the DC streaming network. I enjoyed it. I didn't think I was going to. I didn't like the casting in a few cases, and I thought they could easily have done away with some of the R-rated material and made it a show that it's still edgy, but still something that kids could have watched. But that seems to be the case with a lot of DC adaptations, to make it shocking or whatever. I don't know. So this is Secret Origins of Supervillains. I had these in order, but they kind of spilled when I was coming downstairs. So Secret Origins of Superheroes. So within the pages of these digests are reprints from the Silver and Bronze Age. It's just they're reprinted so small that it really doesn't give you a full idea of the majesty of the original artwork. Man, this even has the Inferior 5 in it. Secret Origins of Superheroes. Yeah, they brought in a lot of really obscure stuff into these digests. Yeah, the Inferior 5 being an example of that. Showing you the inside of these is just not going to be a winning proposition, I don't think. Not with one hand. More Secret Origins of Superheroes. Let me put on my reading glasses from Family Dollar, as my eyesight's getting bad here. 1981, yeah, they're from that issue's from 1981. That's about the time that comics were disappearing from any store that kids actually went into. So places a kid went in to buy a Coke or some chewing gum, comics were always available, but they weren't anymore. And now they were in these comic stores that you'd have to get your parents to drive you to, unless you had a bike and one happened to be near you. And even then, some comic stores had an element of sleaze to them that I don't know. Some were nicer than others. Adventure Comics, Legion of Superheroes was one of the great things that DC did in the 60s. Here's a Supergirl one. I'm listening to Oktoberfest music. Don't ask me why. Oh man, I got this at Half Price Books. How much did I pay? Okay. Yeah, this one I did too. I thought I bought all these off the newsstand, but I guess I didn't, because this also has one of those hated Half Price Books stickers. Well, that's one of the things I think I'll miss. We're talking about maybe moving to another part of the country, and I'm not sure if they have Half Price Books in the areas that we're thinking about moving to. I like Half Price Books. Secret Origins of Superheroes. Man, I have this is my. I didn't realize I had 2 copies of this. I must have, yeah. I guess what I did is I went to Half Price Books and I must have bought like a whole bunch of these all at one time. That's why I have a duplicate of that issue. Superboy. The cover illustrations are well done in these. Okay, here's a Superman. This was not a well thought out video the way I am holding the camera and trying to show off things. Wait, there's more. Hold on a moment. While I get more, my dog will entertain you. Flapping her ears. Alright, I'm back. Okay, here's an Archie 75th anniversary celebration. Archie was doing these digests until just recently, and they may still be doing them. I think I picked one up at a Target like right before the plague hit, or maybe during the plague. Yeah, they still, Archie is still reprints a lot of their old stuff in these digests. Yeah, this is actually very recent because it promotes Riverdale, that horrible obscene adaptation. Riverdale. I saw one episode and Archie was having an affair with his teacher, and it was just not my cup of tea. We watched Sabrina. I think it's had 2, maybe 3 seasons now, and I enjoyed that, although it's sure promoting a satanic agenda. I'm not sure what I think of that. Boy, I hate UPC codes. Yeah, but you're probably not interested in seeing recent Archie stuff. Little Archie. Not many people know about Little Archie, but Little Archie was a tremendous, well-drawn, uh, well-written comic, believe it or not. And this is from, I would say that's from the 80s, based on that ad in the back. Didn't I just show you this Supergirl, or was it different? I may have duplicates. What's this one? Superman battles weird villains. There's Mr. Mixyzptlk, or Mr. Mixyzptlk. Not sure which is the correct pronunciation. I still have my Mego action figure of him. And I think I have duplicates of this one. I could have sworn I just saw this one. This, let's see. Fortress of Solitude with that giant key. I wonder if they still have that in these new comics. Who knows? Oh, Jonah Hex was always one of my favorite comics. They made a really shitty movie based on Jonah Hex, but I never actually saw it. I was warned not to see it, that it would make me angry. So I didn't see it. Just like I didn't see that last Fantastic Four movie. I don't want to be made angry with something that I love dearly being effed up. Gotta clean up my language on these YouTube videos. Look at those little guys. They came to Earth. Wow. All right, need to get another handful. I'm disturbing my dog's sleep. Showing you these digests. All right, got another handful. Christmas with the Superheroes. Now, the first Christmas with the Superheroes were done as treasury editions, giant size comics, which are far preferable, in my opinion, to these little ones. But this got a lot of classic stories back into print, and allowed kids to be exposed to a lot of that stuff without having to pay high collector dollars for them. There's the Justice League of America. Notice they like to just call it the Justice League now, then leave out the America. These little subtle things, if you really pay attention to popular culture, how they're indoctrinating you. Like that Superman, what was it? Superman Returns, or Superman Alive, or whatever it was called, where he came back to Earth and was like a stalker. And Lois Lane was married with Brandon Ruth. So, Perry White saying, is he still for truth, justice, and all that other stuff? Because they don't want to mention the American way. Because there's scum. I have this issue. I bought it. I remember buying it in Tacoma, Washington, and now it's worth a lot of money because it's the first appearance of Power Girl, and everyone loves her breasts. Justice Society, yes, indeed. Yeah, they had a lot of great stuff. These, and another one. And the back cover. I don't know if there's a collector demand for these. I don't really ever hear anyone talking about. Actually, I did hear Night Tiger talking about these. I think it might have been last Sunday night. They did a game show, trivia challenge, and they had King of Comicdom there, and they had Metarog and a bunch of people, and um, I think they were talking about the Haunted Tank, and he mentioned the digest version. Um, yeah, I have multiple copies of some of these. This one you've seen. Ah, Legion of Superheroes. That's interesting. Interesting illustration. Secret Origins of the Legion of Superheroes. Excellent. Here's a Marvel one. This is more recent vintage. You see it. It reprints the shitty modern Spider-Man, and it reprints also more classic stuff. Um, this would probably be a better way to go. They're trying to bring comic books into Walmart now to get kids exposed to comics because kids love the movies, but or at least they love the Marvel movies and some of the DC. All about kryptonite. Um, and they're trying to expose kids to comics by bringing them back in. Walmart's got a selection of these comics, but from what I understand, one comic costs $20. So you're not getting kids exposed to comics with that. It's just the same people that buy them in the comic stores go to Walmart and buy them. There's even a Doom Patrol one. I forgot about this. Doom Patrol, one of my favorites. Okay. I gotta sit this down and... Excuse me. Hold on. I'll let you get entertained by this for a moment. We have this new couch. It's really comfortable, but filming a video on this couch is probably not the smartest move because I sink down into it. Green Lantern. Yeah, Silver Age stuff. And Green Arrow. See, this line is actually called this is DC Special. Some of these are called Best of DC. I don't know what let's see. Let me put on my glasses and find out what this is actually really called. In case you wanted to look this up, buy copies of it. It's DC Special Blue Ribbon Digest. This is Volume 3, Number 23, July 1982. Okay, so they were called Blue Ribbon Digest. So if you wanted to go to comicshop.com or something, pardon me. There's a lot more I got here. Let me move them over here. Now, Mexico does these digests. Tons of these things. They've been doing them for years. This Oktoberfest music reminds me of carnivals that we would go to in Germany when I was a little kid, because my father was stationed in Germany from 1969 to 1972. He was in the army, and I was a real little kid, and we'd go to German carnivals. And they're a lot like the state fair. You know, they had a lot of the rides you go on in the state fair. These traveling carnivals are German rides. You know, they're transportable. You know, the little dark rides you go through and everything. But the music they'd play is the German music they'd play is very much like Mexican music, because the mariachi music that you hear in Mexico is inspired by German musicians that went to Mexico several hundred years ago, and I think whoever was in charge of Mexico at the time imported all these German musicians because he liked the music, and then it became very, very similar to the German style with the accordion and all that. Get back in the light. They reprinted a lot of great stuff. I'm starting to get tired and I'm starting to go too quickly. I need to slow down. You tried doing it with my other arm. No, because then there's a shadow. There's an art to all of this that I haven't mastered. Now, the fact that it doesn't have a UPC code means I must have bought this they must have sold these in comic book stores as well, because the ones that were directly distributed to comic stores didn't have UPC codes. Yeah. But you know all that. Oh, I think what happened was Adventure Comics, the comic that had been around, since the 40s. They changed it to a digest sized with a certain number. I can't focus on that. So that's what these are. This is actually part of the Adventure Comics run. Did I just show you this? I don't think so. I might have. Yeah, I think I did. Oh boy. I showed you this. Oh, I'm getting punch drunk here. Yeah, I think I did. I think I was in these two. And this is the final issue. So, yeah, I showed that to you. So if you need a complete run of Adventure Comics, you'll need to get these digests for the last few of them. Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes. Wow. I sure did love this. I loved it in the 60s stuff and the 70s stuff with their weird disco looking outfits. I love that era too. Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen. Justice League of America. I should be reading issue numbers, but I can't see anything. This bright light in my eyes, and you probably can read them. Maybe you can. I don't know. See, Jason Momoa Looks exactly like Aquaman. Amazing casting. Okay, well, I got all the Legion of Superhero Digest, it looks like. Or whenever I saw them, I got them. Wow, Bizarro Legion. Oh, look at their crushed clubhouse. And the back cover. There were here's an Archie one in bad shape. There were some Archie ones that reprinted their superhero stuff from the 60s. I thought I had some of those. I'm not seeing them now. Here's a Sergeant Rock. Prize Battle Tales. What great artwork. What great artwork. But you don't hear many people talking about these digest-sized issues. I guess they don't have a lot of collector appeal. I sure got a lot of them. There's one from Half Price Books. Another Legion. Yeah, this would be a way that they could get this stuff back into the hands of kids. This is the kind of stuff they should have at Walmart. Well, not this in particular. This is more, this is Mexican wrestling stuff. Here's a martial arts one. Boy, look at that. That's a great illustration, huh? Okay. I don't know what this is. Some kind of soap opera, I guess. Oh, and the rest are just, I got some Mexican ones in here. I can't read Spanish, so it doesn't do me any good. Well, this is part of the pile. This is the lighting setup I've got. I'm lit up by this lamp, by this TV set, by that light over there. I don't know. This is, I just thought I'd show off these digests, and with that, I will sign off. I'm going to be back with a very important update. See you soon.